Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your cattle market summary for the week ending March the 31st. We had another epic failure, and it seems like some things never change as your cattle feeders folded again and failed to take advantage of their leverage and failed to take advantage of their current status and short supplies of market ready cattle in the northern plains especially. And your packers just are way out of the league of the cattle guys trying to work with them. They're just a handful of them. They can work together so much better. I'm not saying they sit down and do it, but they think alike, and they know what they want to get done. They know how to get it done. And you've got all these different cattle guys selling fats in different methods, different ways, but they're really out to cut each other's throat. And it seems like they would just about as soon sell some cattle higher than their neighbor or the feedlot down the road, or maybe sell some cattle out front and be in a better position when that time gets here than they would work together and try to make it work for everybody. But it's kind of a sad situation, kind of like the board is. If you look at your live cattle futures June contract, where most of your open interest is, Monday was down $1.40, Tuesday up just 15 cents, Wednesday up a quarter, Thursday down 97, and Friday was unchanged there after we had that morning lower fat cattle trade there. But June ended up for the week at 110.87, which was down just short of $2 for the week. Your April ended the week at 119.95, so still about an $8 or $9 discount to what your cash is. But you look at your feeder cattle on the May contract. Monday was down $2.47, Tuesday was up 27, Wednesday was up $1.62, Thursday was down $1.80, and Friday up $1.27 to end the week at 132.70 on the May, down just $1.10 for the week. Your April contracts ended the week at 133.95, and of course March went off the board. Your fat cattle trade, it come out a little surprising there on Friday morning. Thought it might be a late Friday trade, but guys started caving in on Friday morning. 128 in the southern plains is where it all started, and that's just $2 lower. But and your guys in the southern plains were not really in a position to play too much hardball. Your guys in the northern plains sure were, and they failed even worse. They really didn't have hardly any cattle to sell. Any cattle that they had on the show list were green cattle, didn't have a lot of days on them. Nobody was backed up or had cattle they needed to get rid of in the northern plains. Even your farmer feeders over in Iowa and up in southern Minnesota and places, nobody really had any cattle. But the cattle that were close enough to being done to go ahead and sell for immediate delivery or within the next week or two, they ended up taking about that same $1.28. But the thing is, so many of them sold for a 2 to 4 week delivery, dollars and dollars cheaper. 124, 25, 26, whatever they thought they could get done. For some reason, they thought they were in a jam and needed to get rid of cattle. Sold some cattle for immediate delivery, dress from 205 to 206. That's $5 to $6 lower than just last week. And just, you know, it's supply and demand, guys. You just gotta figure where you're at, and it's just so hard to get everybody together. And somebody sees, you know, and cattle been making some money, and that's great, but you got to get all you can while they're making a little bit of money and stop giving this up. But you know, guys are thinking, well, I can get out with that, and I can't go broke taking a profit, so I'm going to go ahead and sell those cattle. I got a pretty nice basis here. But now the deal is we're on the downhill slide now, and probably will be on a steady to lower slide from now all the way through the dog days of summer. And it's just going to be interesting to see where things meet up. The cash fats are going to go lower. They may lose enough ground to meet up with April whenever it matures. The board may have to jump up $1 or $2 to catch it right there at the closing days before maturity, but that's kind of all your board's been, is just something for your short guys, for guys to sell the board. There hasn't been any play really, except for just at the very end before it matures, to have any opportunity to make money on on the upside, and it's really a sad deal. It's about as well balanced as most of your mainstream media is on the politics, but it's sad to think that we lost that ground when we had an opportunity to really dig in and show that whenever you're short of supplies, we don't have any market ready cattle up there, they're having to haul cattle from Kansas up to Nebraska and places to have them slaughtered just to fill slots, and you know, you don't take advantage of it. You know, if I was the only hooker on a merchant marine ship, I'd be pretty hard to haggle with, and you would think that most people would be that way, but it's just hard for them to get together to take advantage of that. You look at the slaughter, it was pretty decent, but they started to slow the change speeds down late in the week, and to make it look more negative, you look at your slaughter for the week was 593,000. That's down 20,000 from just last week, but they had that big slaughter last week. But still 54,000 better than same week a year ago. Box beef cutout values were down sharply, and this is I'm going to give you the quotes for the average trade for the week, and it got even more sharply lower towards the end of the week. So we're starting out this week on a bad note. But choice carcasses at 217.15 down 597. Selects 209.79 down 551. With a $7.36 spread, and that's going to widen a whole bunch because they're late in the week. Your selects really sold off hard, and I know that I'm sounding negative and everything. It's just and it was at the end of the week was negative on your cattle business, and I hate to be a downer, but you might as well just get with the program and see what happened. Your cash feeders last week started out the week higher, steady to $2 higher, maybe a little more than that. Some places up through Wednesday, but then when it seemed you could start to hear the chips fall that we were going to lose ground in the fat cattle trade, excuse me, and ended up trading $2 to $3 lower late in the week. Your real-time index on Beef Market Central was down almost $2 at the end of the week compared to the end of the previous week. So it saw that little gain there early in the week, and then still lost $2 by the end of the week, and that's pretty much how the market did close. You come in on your Monday sales, they're going to be lower, and they may be even sharply lower because this corn could rally this week coming in because they had a grain report there where our expected plantings come in lower, so you know we're not going to have lower than most expectations. So now they're thinking corn might get higher because it's down quite a bit on the corn, but at the same time our corn stocks for March come in higher than we thought, and it may kind of balance out, but your early week sales will sure be lower. If these calves are selling good, where you see them, we don't see a whole lot of calves around, but where you seeing calves, you see them, especially those kind of stocker cattle that got more age and size. You saw some of those in South Central Regional Stockyards, Vienna, Missouri. They had 57 head of 540-pound steers on Wednesday, bring 175 and a quarter. That's a pretty good price. But that's your cattle market summary here from my home DV auction office in Canyon, Texas. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.